Good morning. It's Monday, June the 20th. Welcome to Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And I have with me today my guardian angel, John, who wants to discuss the idea that you are the master of the house. And it's very metaphorical and allegorical and very simple as well. The house that he's referring to is literally our bodies and our minds and our emotions. And people are under the misperception that they have no control or authority over their thoughts or their emotions or their body. And this is terribly incorrect. I want to tell you a little something about my guardian angel, John. He first made his presence known to me when I was about 20 years old and I was ready to jump off a bridge here in Toronto because I was very suicidal and very disturbed emotionally and not a very happy person. And he spoke to me as I was about to jump off this bridge and said to get down and go to a payphone and call a phone number, and that at that phone number a certain man would be there who would help me, and that's exactly what happened. In the transition from the bridge to this person helping me, I completely forgot that this voice had spoken to me for many, many years. And about 4.5 years ago, when I had this, I'll call it an awakening, where my partner's mother spoke to me, and I realized 6 days after she had passed away, I suddenly was able to start hearing these beings that communicate to us. Not all of them, but certainly the ones that talk to me and communicate to me or reach out to me, I can hear now. Guards, guardian angels, ascended masters, multidimensional beings, other starseed families. This is not something special. It's something we all innately have. That's how John came to me, and now he's an active part of my life. One of the most profound things he's ever said to me since that day on the bridge was that emotions are the fifth state of energy, and they control and direct all forms of energy below them. That is thought, body, matter, and time. Emotions can alter and change matter, time, and space. They're the fifth state of energy, and without emotional energy, nothing else is able to be perceptible or experienced, because then there's no activity without the movement of energy, which is emotion. Emotion dominates plasma, liquids, solids, gases. Humans can direct it deliberately and intentionally. So he wanted to put this out to us all today. That's really important that you understand that your body is an instrument. It's not who you are. It's an instrument. He says it's not much different than a television or a radio set. The only difference being is that you're the consciousness transmitting yourself through it. Now, science has not been able to pinpoint where the transmission of your consciousness is originating from. They measure activity in the brain, and they come to the conclusion that that's where the activity originates. And I would say to you, that is not the case. That in fact, the activity of your consciousness is not localized to the body, but induces itself into it electrically, which is why you see the phenomena of brain activity when your awareness is functioning through it creatively. As this position in consciousness of awareness is understood, and you begin to realize that your mind and your body and your emotions are all instruments, that emotion and thought working through matter produce behavior, produce actions, produce states that you see as the actions of creativity in the environment of the physical dimension. But that is not limited to the physical dimension, for even in your own imaginings where you are creating or generating fantasies in your mind, you can create a reality that's equally experienced by you as if it is real. And your body will react to even fantasies in your mind as if it is real. If you understand what I'm saying, then please realize that your thoughts, your emotions, your memories, and your body are all instruments, part of a machine, if you like, that you can orchestrate and utilize like an automobile or an aircraft or a train. Your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, all of these things are the different mechanisms that you can use to alter the functionality, the creativity of your life's experience. Understanding, of course, that emotion is the most dominant force over mind, body, and environment. It is emotion that exerts the greatest influence. If you understand this, then you become very conscious of the importance of learning how to use emotional energy. Learn how to distinguish your awareness from your emotions. In that perspective of being aware of your emotions, you have the opportunity to alter and change them, which in turn alters and changes the behavior of your body and the functions of thoughts in your mind. That is, certain qualities of emotion that when you indulge in them will definitely stimulate certain qualities of thought, stimulate certain precise memories, and even generate ideas of a future experience that may not even be happening, but by the very nature of your aligning an emotion to an idea in your mind, you can create a reality that does not exist yet. It is how civilizations have risen and fallen for many, many millions of years. If you understand that you are the master of the house, you are the awareness, aware that you have a body that you direct, aware that you have thoughts that you can learn to alter and change, and most importantly, the emotional energy that you utilize and harness. This, first and foremost, must be understood, that emotion is energy that directs and organizes matter from the subatomic levels all the way up to the gross actions of your physical body walking down the street. It is emotional energy and its movement that directs activity through your physical body. And that you as awareness can be aware of an emotion, and in that position of awareness, you have authority or may have authority over it if you so choose to do so. In my observations, as even with this one, there was a time when he believed his emotions were who he was. And those emotions were not pleasant. They were very painful. As a result of his believing that he was his emotions, he wanted to escape the pain of his emotions by terminating the physical existence of the body, which does not get rid of the responsibility that you have as awareness, or that he had as awareness, but it simply just delays the responsibility. But if you understand that emotions are subjective to what you do with your attention and what you do with your body, because they are all instruments that you learn hopefully to coordinate how they're going to function for you. But these instruments will work on your behalf when you become aware of the fact that you are not the thoughts, you are not the emotions, you are not the body, you are not the memories, you are not the future considerations. You are the awareness that can utilize and direct all of those as a function of your will, which is governed by your ability to give attention to specific things or other things. Whatever you choose to give your attention to begins to generate a stimulation of excited molecules that begin to build up and produce more obvious energies such as excitement or sadness or playfulness. When you give an attention to an idea, you begin to move energy. Your attention begins to move energy in a certain direction. So if you give attention to your pain or your sadness, you move energy in that direction because energy is designed to follow your attention. Just like your body is designed to follow your attention. When you say walk this way, your body goes that way. Wherever you place your attention, you're directing the energy, the emotion to flow in a specific direction creatively. Now, most people think emotions are simply just feeling good or feeling bad, but that is not the case. Emotion is energy that compels the body to action. It is not just emotional feelings. It is substance that organizes matter. Even the matter of your body is subjective. It is very subjective to what you give attention to. it can be easily observed that when somebody is upset or irritated, they're giving attention to their upset and irritation, and it continues to be maintained. The minute they pull their attention away from their upset and irritation, say through the simple act of breathing, where they are now asserting their authority over the body by utilizing its breath, they can begin to alter, diminish, and even eliminate completely that sense of irritation, because now you as awareness are master of the house. Awareness is the master of the house. You are awareness, and you are able to master your house. This beautiful body, this wonderful mind, these beautiful energies that you call feelings that you have, the thoughts, the considerations of a future, all of these you are governor and master over when you become aware of that fact that your thoughts are not who you are. The information that you've gathered from this world, or you've carried forward from other lifetimes, or that you've gotten from books, it does not matter. You are not the thoughts. You are the awareness observing thoughts. You are not the emotions. You are the awareness aware that there are certain emotions prevalent. When that perception begins to be accepted by you that you are awareness observing thought and observing emotion, at that point the process of deliberate creation can begin to become developed. You can begin to develop creation. You can begin to articulate a creative expression in your life. The moment you know that you are awareness, the moment you find yourself subjective to certain emotions or certain thoughts, you give up that authority. If you get into the thinking and stuck in the thought, now you surrender your authority, and now you are in the thought as the thought, or in the emotion as the emotion. But that's not who you are, and it will never be who you are. Even if you feel that way in it, it is not who you are. The minute you step back from an emotion, you're now the observer of it. And in that position, in that place where you create a small space between yourself and the emotions and your thoughts, you open yourself up to the realization that you can begin to select and choose your thoughts. You can begin to generate different emotional qualities as an act of your will. Now, I'm making it fairly simple because in reality it is, and it's always better when it's simple. But each and every one of you, no matter what your position is, has authority over your mind, over your body, over your emotions, over what you will consider about the future. You have that authority. And this is what I call being the master of the house. And there are many great teachers throughout the history of this world and other worlds that have come to the same conclusion, that you are the master of the temple. It is useless to get into the consideration of, well, if I am the master of my thoughts, my body, my emotions, then who and what made me? That is a useless thing to pursue at this time until you become the master of the house. Once your house is in order, then you can begin to pursue the broader understanding of where you originated from and what are the different beings and energies that are on the different levels of your consciousness. With your physical body and your physical senses, you observe a physical world. With your thoughts and memories, you observe a mental world. But there is a world beyond that where your awareness resides. There is a world where there are other beings that are not physical, that are not mental in the sense that you think your thoughts, but they have cognizance, they have awareness, they communicate. You just simply have not learned to open up dormant senses that you possess that would allow you to perceive or receive information from those individuals, from those other species that are not in the physical realm, but exist in a different bandwidth, if you like, a different frequency of consciousness that's not readily available to the five physical senses, nor the realm of thought in the form of its electrical manifestations in the physical brain. On the level of your awareness, these other beings can become available to you if you can shift your perception and attention from being localized to your physical body, from being localized to the thoughts and memories you have in your mind. You can then begin to open up to these other realms of perception these other dimensional beings that can offer you information and insight into your life that nobody in this world can. Why do you think people love the Ascended Masters? Because they get access to information that's not readily available in this physical dimension. But every single one of you have access to that if you so choose to pursue it. Remember, you are the master of your house. If you want to be really specific, you are the master of that body, the master of those thoughts, the master of those emotions when you elect to assume a position of awareness over them, to say, I'm aware of that thought. I'm aware, but I'm not that thought. Oh, I'm aware of this emotion. I'm not that emotion, but I'm aware of this emotion. And those moments, you begin to create your position in awareness. You begin to step out of subjectivity to the house, and now you become the observer of what's going on in it. And then you can begin to organize, alter, and change the thoughts and the emotions that exist within the system. But only from the perspective of being awareness can you do this. If you are subjective to your emotions, lost in them, it's very hard to change them. But the moment you go, wait a minute, I'm aware of this depression. It's not who I am. This depression is something that's within my mind and body, but it's not who I am. Or this anger in my body is not who I am. I'm aware of it. At that point of awareness, you can begin to say, well, what can I do to start correcting that? And of course, there are many things you can learn to do, which we can't go into at this time, because my only goal today was to come through this one to simply say to you that you are not that body. You are not that mind. You have that body, and you have that mind, and you have the emotions that are established in it by what you have in mind, and that you can change these at any time if you so choose to become aware that you can do that. It has been argued that some people are so lost in emotion that they cannot get out. And sometimes that can be true. They can be so entrenched in it. And sometimes, if you watch wild animals and they're fighting and you throw cold water on them, you can watch them break apart. Well, so too, you've got to learn to throw cold water on your emotions. You've got to become aware that you can do that you can actually step outside of your emotions and begin a process of transformation independent of your thoughts, your memories, your emotions, and your biology. They are your servants, not your master. And my goal is simple: to bring that awareness to you to at least consider, for even in the moment of considering that your thoughts are not you, that you are aware of them, even in the moment of considering that your emotions, although you feel them, are not you, but you are aware of them, in the very nature of that consideration, you create a movement in your consciousness to differentiate yourself from them, so you no longer remain subjective to them, a prisoner to those which are meant to serve you. The process of learning to change thoughts and emotions is a secondary one. But first you have to be able to recognize that you are not your thoughts, that you're not the emotions, that they're simply elements you have within your mind and body that you haven't learned how to use properly. You can learn to create new thoughts. You can create new emotions in your mind and body. That is something you can learn to do. You can create new thoughts, and you can create new emotions in that body and create a whole new mind and body that is more pleasing to you. And is that not what the master of a house does when a house is in chaos and disorder? The master organizes it, puts things in a proper order so that he or she feels good in the house. And this is all I came to articulate, that you understand that you are the master of the house. No matter what the intensity or depth of your pain or your joy is, you are always the master of the house. To become conscious and aware of that fact is the beginning of freedom, the beginning of the opportunity of creating a life that you want to live, instead of just feeling like you're existing in a life that you have no control over, because that is not what you came here to do. You do not come here to live in a life where you are out of control. You came here to experience being a creating intelligence, to know that you have the ability to create things, to manifest experiences, that you can do that, and you're doing it whether you like it or not. even if you're unconscious or you're lost in emotions, you're still creating. You cannot not create while you are in this physical dimension. It is your nature to create. And that is why you came here, to learn the process of creating. And I hope that in this short expression to you today, that you feel on some level the truth of what is being said for you, that you understand that there is a validity, not simply because I'm saying certain words, but there is a validity because you are experiencing that you are aware of your thoughts. And therefore, you are not the thoughts, you are the awareness of them, that you are not your emotions, that they are there and you're aware that they're there, but you are not them. If that has been achieved for you, then this has served well, that I have come here to say this to you today. You are engaged with and surrounded by many beings that are here to support you and guide you in your journey through this world, that will take you from suffering and lead you to creation. When you restore yourself to the realization that you are here to learn to create, to manifest conditions of existence that are pleasing to you, and that suffering is not a necessary way to be or learn or do, although there are some that are arguing that suffering is necessary, and I wholly disagree with them, that it's only necessary when you are asleep to it, asleep to the fact that you can think, that you can choose, that you can create. But no one in their right mind would ever choose to suffer if they knew they had another choice. No one would choose to suffer if they knew they had another choice. Thank you. Wow. So this is my guardian angel, John, and he's been with me for 43 years. And I've only really known about him for the last 4.5 years. And it's very exciting. And my whole work now is about empowering other people to connect to their guides, their angels, the beings that you're here to work with, so that you're not doing the journey alone, because you're never going to be alone unless you believe you're alone. But you do need to learn some simple things, how to differentiate yourself from your thoughts and your emotions. And I've been really blessed to have, even not even knowing I had guidance. And a lot of you have guides and angels with you that have been helping you and don't even know it. And sometimes they're actual real people in physical bodies too, but they're also these non-physical beings that literally offer their energy to you, will try to guide you, will influence other people to help you. It's quite remarkable when you enter that world and you begin to experience it. If you want to know more about the work that we do, helping people to connect to their guides and angels, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out some of the things that are happening there, and check out some of the testimonies, what people have said that have connected to their guides and angels and have taken our course, and what's happened. Your life is not meant to be a journey of suffering. Your life is meant to be a journey of creating. You're an entity of love. And in your essential nature, that's what we all are, entities of love. But we get so caught up in our egos sometimes, we forget that. We get lost in matter, we get lost in mind, we get lost in ego, and we lose sight of who and what we really are and what life's really about. And life's meant to be a creative experience. And we learn sometimes through making mistakes to create differently. Let's take some questions. Yeah. Hello, Silver King. Hi, Drusilla. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Question from Olena. How many guides do I have? Do they have a message of anything I need to work on right now? Thank you. Wow, it's funny. The word that popped right in my head right away said, tell her to go deeper into meditation. There's, he's saying, because he's a he. He's got a female with him, but she's kind of just with him. But he's saying to you, you need to go deeper into meditation. His name is Jana, Jana. You need to go deeper in your meditation. He says, let the distractions go. She knows what they are. You know what the distractions are. He says, go deeper in your meditation. Let the distractions go. Wow, cool. Thank you, Alana. Question from Christopher. Hi, Chris. Will you please explain the difference between suffering and sacrifice out of love? Thank you. Let me just you must understand the question you have asked. And again, I don't know who this is, but this guy stands beside. This is a being. Is like this kind of a misty being. He's about 8 feet tall, and he's very large, like large in space, but his height is about 8 feet tall. And he's saying it's really important that you not confuse the concept of love with the concept of sacrifice. They're very different things. If you confuse them, you could end up doing things unnecessary and harming yourself and others under the misguided idea that sacrifice is an expression of love. It is not. Sacrifice is not an expression of love. Love does everything in its power to support, sustain, and preserve life. To support, to sustain, and preserve life. If you are thinking that when somebody would offer their life to save another, that is not sacrifice. That is an act of love to preserve, protect life. Do not confuse those two terms, or you will find yourself stuck in the dogmatic realm of what many of your religions would tell you about it. Wow. Wow. Thank you, Christopher. Great question. Question from Adam. Can I ask Archangel Metatron to define the difference between a planetary celestial sphere and a Kabbalistic sphere, and why are specific energies attributed to these spheres, and how does it happen? He's saying it's important you understand the multidimensional nature of energy, that it is not simply happening on one plane of existence. So you're asking about the structure of energy between two dimensions, that of the fractal structures of a planetary system and its relationship to the planetary system itself. They are two very unique and distinct energies, but they are entwined with one another. If you affect one, you affect the other. It is that simple. Do not mix them up. They are, while they are entwined with each other, they are very different. When you surrender the physical, you can move to the fractal. You can move to the non-physical dimensions of that energy configuration. For you cannot end the existence of an idea. You can simply change its the expression that it manifests on at one plane of consciousness or another, whether that is the physical, the mental, the astral, the spiritual, or multidimensional or multi-universal dimensional planes. But yes, there should be no confusion in this. Wow, thank you, Adam. Question from Dion: is there a message? Actually, there actually is. There is a flower, a smell that you need to be present with, to lose yourself in this smell for a little while. It is called lavender. In your next attempt to join with us, use the smell of lavender. Let your ears and your eyes close. Let your attention go within, but stay with the smell. Follow what it stimulates inside you. So you will have the smell, but there is a vibration the smell will activate within the structure of your physical brain. That vibration that gets activated in the structure of your physical brain will lead you to another chain of frequency that happens outside of the body. So follow that chain from the physical smell of this lavender to the sensation in the brain that's stimulated, and then go upwards from that. There is a frequency that connects to. You will receive information from that frequency. It's important you understand that smells can stimulate the body's system so that it begins to tune into different frequencies of information, not simply get lost in the sensation, the sweetness of the smell, but to understand the frequency of information that reattunes your awareness to perceiving. Cool. I like that. Yeah. Question from Nancy. This may be a material question, but will they fix my car or do I need a new one? I don't know this, but they're laughing really hard. Um, I don't know who this is, but they're saying, please tell her that she needs to get more exercise. I don't know why they're saying, please tell her she needs to get more exercise. If she commits to her physical well-being, she will find her problems with the car will diminish. But it is time to renew her body, not just simply her car. Thank you. Oh my gosh. It's funny, when they communicate information, the laughter I hear sometimes is just contagious. And it's, we're not meant to be alone. It's just, we're not, none of us really are. That's the whole beauty of all of this. Thank you so much for that. Hi, Danielle. Wonderful to have you connecting to us from Quebec. If you're new to this channel and you're enjoying this content, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and give it a thumbs up. Click the notification bell and share this information. Share this with other people. Suffering on this planet is going rampant right now, and it's unnecessary. It really is. They keep telling me this is what ascension is. Ascension is designed to lift us up, but so many of us are caught in the negative emotions of our mind that we're caught in the lower frequencies and we're stuck there. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be actually free. We're actually meant to be free to create. And ascension energies are coming at all of us right now. What are ascension energies? For those of you that are wondering, ascension energies are higher vibrational states of energy potential coming in from the galactic center and the central sun of our solar system that are frequencies. Science measures them as gamma radiation, cosmic rays, X-rays. Those are frequencies of energy. But there are other frequencies than those that are also coming at the planet. These other frequencies we call ascension energies that are designed to afford people that tune into it the opportunity to elevate their consciousness up. And by elevating your consciousness up, you're no longer subjective to fear and anger, guilt and shame. You learn to transform, transmute, and transcend those conditions. So share this information with people. The ascension movement's getting stronger. And if you don't learn to use these energies positively, they'll get used by default in whatever state you're in. So if you're really negative, these energies will make you feel more negative. If you're really positive, these energies will make you feel more positive. Learn to align yourself to higher vibrational frequencies of energy. Like instead of fear, move to love. Instead of doubt, move to patience. Learn to move to the higher vibrational frequencies of emotional energy so that you can utilize these energies to evolve yourself. And again, go to my website and check out our courses and classes. Get enrolled in one of these courses. Go sign up today. We got our courses beginning July the 8th. Get signed up. Learn how to open your clairs. Learn how to connect your guides and angels. Learn how to do the things that are really, really important for you to do. You're not here to suffer. You're not here to be alone. You're here to create. You're here to learn the act of creation, to demonstrate it in this physical world. And there's some really great creators in this world. You look at, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and lots of people that are creating massive things. Look at the cities around us. They're incredible. And we created that. We are here to create. We're not here to suffer. We are here to create. Well, thank you so much. Time for one more question. Do we have one more question? Yeah, I see that. Adam's asking, can I ask Pan if he can define what he meant by dimensional element in his last explanation, referring to how energy differentiates through a medium, and give examples that further explain? Yes. In using the term dimensional element, I refer to those elements of consciousness that are not limited to what you experience as your body, your emotions, your thinking, that there are dimensional elements that can be brought energetically into your mind and body, into this physical world, therefore enabling you to alter and change it, to also connect to elements of intelligence and consciousness. For example, what you would call the consciousness of a centaur, or the consciousness of a fairy, or the consciousness of another dimensional being would be considered another dimensional element that you can tune into, utilize in the act of creation. Wow. Thank you, Adam. Last question from Heather. I woke up to a loud, low tone ring in my left ear this early morning. I was laying in the bed and I took it as a warning from the divine to stay home today. Yes, absolutely. Gaia is going through, Gaia, for those of you who don't know what Gaia is the soul consciousness of what we call the earth. That is the feminine field of consciousness that individually exists through the expression of creation on this earth. Just as your physical body is the mechanism that you use to experience creation through your physical body. Well, this being called Gaia is the soul, the consciousness that operates through the planetary system we call Earth. And she's going through a lot of discharging. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on in the next few weeks. It started last week. She told us it would begin last week. And if you take a look, you'll see there's a lot of changes on a very broad scale happening on the planet. And because her consciousness is evolving, just like we have the opportunity to evolve. And you're going to see geophysical changes, much the same way as if you get excited about something, your body reacts. If you're upset about something, your body reacts. Well, the consciousness of Gaia works that way, but on a much bigger scale. In other words, when she's discharging or feeling certain qualities of energy that are unpleasant, she reacts a certain way. Much the same way you do when somebody upsets or irritates you, respond or react a certain way. But she has the capacity to make things happen that make us feel really small as human beings. But understand, if the vibrational state that you're in is more closer to love than fear, you will not be bound up in the suffering that suffering would bind you up in. So yeah, stay where you are and enjoy the day. You're also picking up that low hum is also picking up tectonic activity. You're actually tuning into actual tectonic energy that's actually building up in the planet right now. We can do that. We don't need machines to tune into life because we are consciousness integrated with all that is. But again, you can learn more about that if you come out to our courses and classes. Please take them. They'll change your life. I want to thank you for your questions, everybody. I want to wish you, question from Daniela. She snuck one in here. We'll get it in here. Is there something going on June 21st with Mother Earth? The answer is yes. And it's not just the 21st. It's like, if you've ever seen a woman that's pregnant and she's about to give birth, they're in the last week or two of the pregnancy, you don't know when it's going to happen, but you know it's going to happen. I'll tell you something. There are certain things that are going to happen on the planet, and we know they're going to happen. There are specific dates that occasionally come out, but for the 21st specifically, no. But that's a good benchmark to be mindful of. It's a good reference point to be mindful of, but you don't have to pick the specific date. And of course, science will always say that things like that happen all the time, and they do, because whenever there's a change in energy, there's a change in matter. Whenever you change how you think or feel, it changes what your body does chemically. So too the consciousness of Gaia, the consciousness of the sun, the consciousness of the planets. When they have an experience, they generate an electrical charge in the form of emotion that changes things. And from the perspective of matter, time, and space, what I'm saying makes absolutely no sense to most people. But from the perspective of consciousness and awareness and energy, then it would make very good sense. Anyway, I want to wish you all much love. Have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day. Also, just so you're quite aware, Wednesday, June the 22nd, 2022, I've got this being named Elijah coming in, and he says, how to know what is right for you. And he's told me to put in brackets the word polarity. So that'll be this Wednesday, June the 22nd, how to know what is right for you with Elijah. On this Friday, June the 24th, being free, the servants obey you. And again, this being who asked me to put that together has not revealed themselves to me yet. They just said to be prepared for that. So I hope you'll join us on Shortcuts for Your Soul on Wednesday and Friday. Have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day. If you want to support this channel, you can do so through my Patreon page, or you can use my PayPal link, which is in one of my videos. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. Much love. Bye for now.